Here we go. Let's do that again. Okay. Can you hear me now? Thank you. Thank you, Chica, is my beautiful wife. Thank you for letting me know that you can't hear me. That is good to know. Let's do that again. Take 2. Yo, everybody. Okay, this is the audio version of what I just did there. Let's make sure that you guys are typing in the chat. If you're new here and you're here for the first time, Haas, I know that you're new. Type new in the chat or the comments and let us know where you're watching from. It's me, Emceelito, aka Lito Cruz. Thank you so much for letting me know you can hear me clearly. AKA Lito Cruz, coming live from Osaka, Japan. Now, I've lived in Osaka, Japan for the last 18 years, and my YouTube channel is all about Japan, tech, and tips and tricks to help you with your next trip to Japan so that you can maximize every moment that you are here. Today is going to be our first tech-centric live stream, so this is going to be a really big action-packed one, so don't miss it. And hopefully we can get a little bit of a secret bonus video at the end, so please try to stick around to the end. If we get enough likes, I'm going to show you a little bit of a live stream only preview of a special bonus video that you can see early access before the next stream. I stream every Saturday night here in Japan. That's Saturday night 9 p.m. and Monday mornings 9 a.m. to hit up the people in North America. But if you're on the live now, make sure to type where you are viewing from, and if you're new, make sure to type new in the chat or comments. Awesome. Okay, so what I want to start off with again is a really big thank you. Now, I just want to say that us streamers who are just starting, streamers, YouTubers, content creators, every little like, every little comment, every little piece of feedback. Yeah, sometimes we have negative feedback, but it's the positive feedback, even the small ones, that can really make our day. Okay, so I'm going to highlight one of the comments I got recently. But before I do that, I'm going to ask you our first question of the day. The question is, okay, what is your favorite piece of technology? Okay, so that could be like your computer or your camera. If you're a musician, it could be like your effects pedal. It could be your iPad. It could be your smartphone. It could be anything. Just tell me in the chat, in the comments, what is your favorite piece of technology? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get to your comments after saying a shout out to this comment here. So let me see here. Bam. Okay. In a couple videos ago, I got this really awesome comment here. Let me see if I can. Oh, I'm on the wrong page here. That's all good. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I got this really nice comment from Vlog Passport on a couple streams ago. I was doing a food stream telling you how to eat Japanese foods properly. We did stuff with rice, so like natto, and what else is onigiri, and how to open an onigiri and stuff. And Vlog Passport said, "Nice sharing. I always love watching your videos. I'm your friend here. Keep it up. Smiley face, thumbs up, heart. Oh my God, when I read that comment, it really made my day. So Vlog Passport, if you're watching now or in the replay, I want to send you a big virtual hug and say thank you so much. It's positive comments like that that really, give us starting out content creators the impetus, the energy, the positivity to keep going. So thank you so much. It really means so much. And guys, please don't be shy. I'd love to keep the conversation going. Even if you're not here live, you can see it on the replay and type in the comments. So thank you so much for that. I really, really appreciate it. All right, so let us see how it's going now. All right, we got a few more people coming in. So remember, the question was, if you're just tuning in now, what is your favorite piece of technology? Okay, so I'm going to tell you my favorite piece of technology right now. Well, I'm using a lot of technology. Well, actually, let me get the microphone. I think it's like probably too loud for you guys. All right, hopefully that's, I'm not deafening your ears there. Are you guys okay? You guys okay? Is everyone all right? All right, so probably my favorite piece of technology, even though I have a lot around me, is this little guy right here. Okay, let's see if you can see that. This is the Insta360 Go 2. It's their new little pocket camera. Shoo! And it's this cute little thing. This is the case. I did a kind of unboxing this in Hikone Castle with Byoko Visitors Bureau. That was with Yukiko and BVB out there. And yeah, this little thing is like, it's basically a full-on action camera. It's like a mini version of like a GoPro or one of those action cameras. It's hard to focus here. Let's do that again. Pew! This thing is so tiny. It's super, super cute. There we go. So it's just like fits in the palm of your hand, as you can see. It's not super thick. It's like smaller than a stick of gum. It's magnetic on the back, so it comes with this little pendant that you can put around your neck and slip underneath your shirt. And so bam, you got this basically first person point of view cam. And why I love it is because I can take it into places, with a big, nice DSLR camera, or even something like a handheld gimbal and a smartphone. People kind of look at you funny still, right? And it's hard to kind of give you the shots. If I go into a store and stuff, people will approach me right away. Please, can you not record? Even though it's like maybe okay to record there and stuff. But with this little handy guy, it allows me to kind of really bring you into my experience and have you really see first-person point of view what Japan is like, and how it is to kind of do some of the activities and go to the different places here. So there'll be a little bit of a bonus video as long as we get enough likes by the end of this to show you that what we took recently with this when we went to Denden Town, which is the Akihabara of Osaka. All right, let's go to the chat here a little bit. Oh, we got a few people already doing it in the chat. Khan, my man. Okay, let me get that other comment out. Khan, the coal man, my man. It is I, god of computer incompetence, whose digital illiteracy puts Judge Judy herself on the level of the Borg Queen assimilation tubules up. Khan, it is awesome to have you here every time, man. I know that this stream is probably like the antithesis of your own being. Khan always tells me he's the god of illiteracy, of computer illiteracy, I should say. So he's kind of not really into tech. Well, you know what? This is a big challenge for me then, to get someone like you who's kind of not really into tech, maybe a little bit afraid of tech. I don't know how you feel about that, but to show you how easy it is to get into these kind of things. We're going to be looking at a little bit of VR today with my friend Jeff Thatcher, who brought me online into the world of alt space. I'm going to show you a little bit of that, as well as the main thing that we're going to look at is coding. So let me talk about what we're going to look at in today's video, in today's show, I should say. So, get my notes 1 second here. All right. It's not popping up for some reason. Okay, so like I said, today's show is all about tech. The main thing of coding is that this is a skill that is now mandatory for many elementary students all over the world. Japan seems to be trying to catch up with the rest of the world. I think according to some of my research and websites, they're saying that Japan will be behind in IT, and digital related workers, like 330,000 jobs will be available because there aren't enough people with those skills. So there's a big gap to fill. These are programmers, coders, designers, anyone who uses these skills a little are gonna need to fill these jobs. So I think that's why the whole world is pushing it. It's kind of like when I was in high school, the big thing was computers and word processors. Yeah, I'm old. Word processors and computers were just coming out. So typing was the new skill set to have. But as the younger generation grow up with technology all around them, the next skill that they're going to all need at one point in their life, probably, no matter what job they do, is coding. And that's the ability to just kind of understand some basic programming languages and know how to manipulate it so that you can make a website, you can design a piece of software, you can maybe tweak or customize a piece of existing software if it's open source, or you can take it further and make video games. These are some careers that are on the up and up. And if you have children who are either in elementary school, junior high school, they're probably going to have to get with it if you're in Japan. If you're teaching English, which I know a lot of you are right now, there's a good chance that in the future your job is going to extend into that realm, because there seems to be a lot more coding schools, coding camps that are fusing learning programming, learning coding, which is another type of language, with learning English at the same time. And it kind of makes sense, because to be competitive in that world, you're going to have to learn at least a little bit of English, because a lot of the terminology, a lot of the words that you input are in a standard English format. Okay, anyways, today we're going to be giving you guys a chance to work with me as your guide to interactively create your own customized homepage, like web page, right? Really simple, but it's all going to be you, and I'll show you how easy it is on the Code Avengers platform, okay? Yeah, I am a little biased, okay? I will say this. I'm promoting this because I've been approached by Steve Budd. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here. He's kind of like my boss at Code Avengers, and we're trying to push it into Japan. Like we said, we're trying to help out Japan to fill that gap. And one of the platforms that's coming out of New Zealand is Code Avengers. It's a really easy online platform for teachers and students to get the skills they need from a very young age, and bring it all the way up to full-on programming. So we're going to be using Code Avengers today, and he approached me to be one of the first teachers in Japan. We've been trying to get our feet off the ground. There's like a code camp that's in collaboration with Waseda University. I was supposed to go to Tokyo a couple months back and do a very short coding camp with a few selected junior high school and high school students there. But because of the state of emergency in Japan, it's been extended. It's been delayed like 3 or 4 times. We keep joking like, yeah, maybe I'll be able to go to Tokyo for the Olympics. Ooh, yeah. But hopefully we're going to get that off the ground next month. So fingers crossed and all. But I'm going to show you how it is. Steve might actually make a drop-in appearance here. Some of you who are watching the stream might actually know Steve. He used to be my old boss at my former English teaching school, and he remembered me all these years. So it just goes to show, keep those connections. Don't burn your bridges if you have to, because you never know. This is like, seriously, at least 10 to 12 years later, he remembered me and he approached me, and he was so kind to give me this opportunity. So I am biased. I really like this platform, but I really think there's a lot of value for all you guys watching today. So Con, you're my man. You're my model student, man. We're going to do this kind of for you and to have everybody involved. Let's go back to the chat for a little bit right now. Awesome. So Khan is giving me the follow-up here. He's like, my favorite piece is probably my high-end noise-canceling Sony headphones. Let me just move this a little up so I can read it. Great sound, no noise. Awesome, dude. I really love listening to my all-encompassing music on them. A bit hot and sweaty in the summer. Yeah, awesome. So you got these really awesome those headphones that they have some active, see, that's like science, man. That's a bit of programming in there, right? All the technology in there. So it's like all the sound waves that are canceling out the other sound waves so that you don't hear anything. It's actually active. There's actually sound going here, but the waves, how they crash into each other so that they kind of, cancel each other out. Awesome. And Khan's like, I'm going to be a challenge, I think. Dude, you're going to be an awesome challenge. You're going to be awesome. You're awesome already, but you're going to be awesomer. Okay, guys. So, thank you for sharing your favorite piece of tech with me. And like I said, you're gonna remember the Insta360 Go 2. This little cute puppy will pop in later as well. You'll see how that works. Awesome. Okay, so let's get to a little bit of a kind of a side thing of a technology, but kind of an intro to VR. I've talked about VR earlier, and what VR stands for is virtual reality, and this is a virtual reality headset. You kind of put it over your head, and so everything you see is digital. You have these little controllers here, right? And these allow you to manipulate things. They allow you to push buttons and select menus and grab items and whatnot. And my really good friend, Jeff Thatcher, who is an awesome musician, by the way. Okay, let me introduce him a little bit. I'm gonna... Oh yeah, and by the way, Vlog Passport, again, thank you so much for your comments. Vlog Passport has a channel that talks about Singapore. I think this person is based in Singapore right now, and they recently uploaded a video, Kansai walking tour in Hyogo, that they took in 2019. So make sure to check out this person's channel. They got about 1,000 or so subscribers, and it seems like they have an awesome following. It's kind of no talk, kind of just walking and showing you what it is. Maybe even Vlog Passport, you'd be interested in a camera like this to even give more first person perspective, but that's already what you're kind of giving out there as well. So awesome. I'm going to check out your channel more. I'm going to subscribe. Bam, right now. I thought I had subscribed to you, but I'm going to subscribe and hit the bell. Okay. And same for you guys. If you're liking this content, please do subscribe, hit the bell for further notifications of upcoming things, and make sure to like in the comments. Seriously, all this stuff does help me out so much. So I'm going to show you kind of what happened with VR today. So this is Rockapella. Now, if you guys are into acapella music, you might know them. They were on the Disney Channel way back with a kid show called Where in the World is Carmen San Diego? Okay, and Jeff Thatcher is the beatboxer. He's the mouth drummer percussionist master on the right, and that's Jeff. And I'm going to actually be adding these links to the chat and to the description after, so you can check them out. But they got this awesome video of that song, Where in the World is Carmen San Diego. Let me see if you guys can hear this. You probably can. Okay, and they actually customized this. Oh, awesome. Xiao is here. Now Xiao says, whoa, I watched that show. Let me pull up his comment here. Xiao says, wow, I watched the show as a kid. Yes, dude, so did I, and I'm such a big fan, and I'm so happy. They come to Japan every year, basically, right? And they love Osaka, I swear. Well, some of the members used to work at Tokyo Disneyland, Universal Studios, and I just happened to meet them one night, and we became friends, and we've been good friends ever since. I've gone to New York to hang out with him. We've been online, and this morning we were on AltSpace together in virtual reality, and he was my tour guide this time. So I'm usually hanging out with him in Osaka, showing around. He was showing me these awesome worlds in VR. So this is a shout out to you, Jeff. Thank you very much for being my awesome guide. You are the best. I didn't mean to concho you guys. Pew pew pew. No, this is being pew 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 like that, or as Con would say, pew pew pew. So anyway, Xiao, that is awesome that you watched them as a kid. That's so cool. Do check them out. I'm gonna put their links in the chat here while I show you what we did. So in VR, the app was AltSpace. He took me basically on these tours, and you can kind of visit people's worlds. It's kind of like I guess a more high-res version of Minecraft, where people are making their own worlds and you can go there and visit them. After about 2 hours of showing me bridges of Star Trek, these awesome fantastical forests, spaceships that Jeff made, this awesome designer from Indonesia, I think his name was Taj. They recreate so many different things. There was Star Wars, Star Trek, yeah, the Trekkers and Forces there, Con. I was in the trench run. I saw the X-Wing and Darth Vader's TIE Fighter. I was on the bridge of the Next Generation with the panels. And all of this is built on programming, right? It's built on coding. Someone's got to write this stuff so that we can, as consumers of this digital technology, can use it and create new things. So how cool is it if you're going to be at that level where you're able to make the tools that creatives can do it? Oh man, it was so cool. Con, I would love to bring you out onto VR. The next time we hang out, maybe if I bring my Oculus Quest, this with me, we're gonna put you in it for sure, dude, for sure. Okay. Right. Hey, Matt20, how you doing? Thanks for joining the stream, dude. He says, actually, no, you don't need any code to make a scene in Altspace. Yes, that is true. No, what I'm trying to say is, wouldn't it be cool if you are one of the people who are making a newer platform similar to Altspace or you're making the tools, you're programming the worlds, that platform, like you're the creators of those platforms. Of course, you're right, though. You don't need any coding experience to use those tools. But what if you're the next generation of young people who are making that stuff? I think that would be exciting as well. What if you make your own Altspace, your own version of Altspace, and give your own twist on it? Who knows? That could be a business opportunity. That could be your life's work, right? Matt, I know you are totally into like 3D modeling and all that stuff. So you're probably way, way more knowledgeable about it than I. But what I'm trying to say is like, I'm trying to, hopefully if kids have interest in computer science, coding, programming at a young age, then later in life, maybe it can take them somewhere. I wish I had been more easily into it I'll share my story with you a little bit later. But we're going back to this story here. And what I did is I recorded a video of the end of our session. So we were just about to say goodbye. We were giving our virtual hugs. And suddenly this live event pops up. And we're like, live events? Simulation Nations having like their live podcast in VR in Altspace. And the guy who made a lot of the worlds we visited, Taj Asuka, I'm sorry, I can't remember his last name, from Indonesia, was the guest speaker. So we zoomed into that space, and I'll just show you like the first couple minutes, and you can see how many people are actually in there. Oh, Matt, I'm going to get to your comment right now because that's really cool. You said, yep, I've made a space in Altspace. Fun to create. Coding is useful for sure. Yeah, man, I think you got it. Dude, take me to your Altspace someday. I'd love to see it. Okay, so hopefully you guys can hear this.
And oh my god, this is in the Scarlet Monarch generation, and oh yeah, it's
so he
it's
designed
the first
that.
time that I actually just built a house. I promised myself that I was going to make something small this time. Well, but yeah, it's it was a joy to build this. Actually,
I'm going to move to the right soon to show you actually how many other people are watching.
This one solidified the style at the end, right. Because then aside from the angular shapes, there are curves now suddenly included, and glass and the reflections and everything. And this is also where those little cars came in, because actually I built those while I was building the Scarlet Monarch because I was distracted a lot at the time. Of course, what kind of nerd wouldn't start making flying cars, right? So
see all the people that are watching live in virtual reality.
Well, I think we should step inside. What do you think, people? Should we step inside here? Inside.
Right, and then right after that is when they started going to those worlds that he created, and he was kind of like the tour guide. And yeah, it was so cool. It was funny because like at the beginning of it, they were asking people, okay, is anyone here in the Asian time zone? Because he's from Indonesia. And I was like the only person who was saying, yeah, it's me. He's like, oh, hey, Emceelito. Hey, where are you from? And all of your mics are muted. It's kind of like a Zoom meeting, right? You have presenters and everyone's listening muted. So he unmuted my mic and I'm like, yeah, I'm watching from Osaka, Japan. And he's like, oh, cool, man. You're from Japan. Like within 5 minutes later, I get a friend request from someone I haven't met. And he's like, dude, did you work at, this company, this English language school? And I'm like, yeah, have I met you? And he's like, yeah, I think we met like 10 years ago. And yeah, do you know this guy? I'm like, oh my gosh. So I met someone randomly who I met probably just once at a Christmas event or something like that here in Osaka. He's back in California now, but he picked me out of the crowd after just saying, yeah, I'm from Osaka, Japan. And he saw my name. My username is Emceelito, which is the name of this thing. So I guess he was able to pick me out really easily. But yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. All right. So Jeff, thank you so much. And what is the connection of this VR stuff with today's topic of coding. Yeah, man, like Matt was saying, right? You know, coding is useful if you want to, you know, dive deep. You don't need to be an engineer to drive a car. But if you want to design the engine, if you want to kind of design the future of cars, make a new type of engine, yeah, then I think coding is definitely going to be a useful skill. And yeah, that's why we're kind of covering it today. Anyways, I'm hoping to do some VR content if I can figure out this whole thing of streaming it to you. I don't think it's hard. I actually recorded that video, took a few selfies, took a few snapshots. It was so fun. Jeff, thank you very much. And Jeff has been coming to Japan for years. So I'm actually going to have him on as a guest in future live streams to see it from his point of view, where he's been coming to Japan for like 20 years, you know, visiting for weeks here and there and also seeing it change. Kind of like us guys who are in Japan for a long time. So that should be so interesting. All right, guys, I have another question for you. Question number 2. Oh, before we get to that, let's get to the chat. I forget about you guys never. All right, Khan says, off topic, but my wife and I spent an afternoon, our honeymoon in Bali. One of my great pop heroes is from Jakarta, Indonesia. Dude, Indonesia, I met a few people from there, and everyone I've met has been really, really nice. So I can totally understand that. Jakarta, Indonesia, man, must be a really cool place. I'd love to visit there someday. That's cool that you spent your honeymoon in Bali. Oh, I'd love to go to Bali. I'm sure like Bali has no tourists right now, so it's interesting what they're going to be doing in the future. Matt20 says, there's also node-based programming now. Interesting. Kind of halfway between coding and flowcharts, basically. Oh, cool. I wonder if that makes it like easier. That's really cool. Anything that makes it easier for people to get into. Nice. Unreal Engine uses Blueprints, their node-based coding language, to do a lot of stuff now. Now, it's interesting, Matt, you would have loved to be in that space because like, he was talking about Blender and Unity. So, okay, so for all you guys who don't know, you know, these names that we're pulling out, we're talking about different kind of software programs or engines, they call it, to make these virtual worlds. Blender is another 3D one, I think, right? And he said, including in Fortnite, etc. Right. So, like I said, these are the tools that you can use to make 3D worlds, to make 3D games and whatnot. And, you know, obviously that's a thing right now. And is going to be for the future, for sure. All right, guys. So the next question I have for you is, do you like sushi or sashimi? No, that is not the question. That was for last time. Okay, I'm just gonna read out the question. I thought I had typed it in. Hold up a sec. The question of the day is, I can't find it now. Okay, I'm just going to read the question. I'm so sorry. The question is, have you been teaching or learning online recently? Have you been online? Okay. And question number 2, which I hope will pop out. No, it's not coming out for some reason. It didn't save my things. Oh, that's too bad. I don't know what happened there. Okay, sorry guys. The second question is, what comes to mind when you think of New Zealand? Okay, so let me repeat again. Question number 1, have you been teaching and learning online recently? Please tell me yes or no in the chat and give me a few details. Question number 2, what do you think of when you think of New Zealand? What's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of New Zealand? Okay. Now I'm going to do a little plug-in here, so I'll give you guys a chance to write your comments. Okay, so the reason I am talking about this kind of stuff is... Okay, let me get in here. There is an awesome online event coming up pretty soon. Okay, the dates are from June 14th to June 18th, but the day that I want you guys to really remember is June 15th, because that's when Code Avengers has their presentation with Steve Budd doing a little video presentation. This is free to everyone, and again, I'll put the links in the chat. Maybe I'll just put this link out real quick so you can check it out. It is in all these different languages. So you see the countries on the right. You can get language support for you there. So let me just type that in the chat real quick. Oh, you guys are in the comments on fire. Thank you so much. Bam. I'm gonna need a moderator at some point to help me out with this kind of stuff. And what it is basically, let me just read it here. It's basically to, show what's coming out of New Zealand when it comes to digital education technologies. So there's a lot of different partners that are working with the Japanese government, the New Zealand embassies, companies like Code Avengers that are bringing different aspects of online learning, digital technology to Japan to try to help it, because New Zealand's got a lot of cutting edge systems and technology out there, Code Avengers being one of them. All right. You can also see their little conference teaser, and I'm going to play that for you guys right now. Oh, there's Steve right there. Second to the left. I love the little at the end. That's so awesome. All right, so I'll put those links in the chat if you guys want to check it out. But I have registered
that are on social media a lot.
I registered and already kind of seen a little bit of what they have. So you can it translates it all to your local time, as well as when you register, you can choose what language you want to have it subtitled in. So there's live Q&As after. It's going to be awesome. Let's go back to the chat to see what you guys have been talking about. Let me just go back here. Okay, so the questions were, what have you been teaching online or learning online recently, as well as what comes to mind when you think of New Zealand? And just going back to VR and stuff, Matt says, Lord of the Rings, awesome. Prime Minister, yes. Fish and chips. I think he means fish and chips, but in New Zealand, they do have a particular accent. I know you're Australian, but it's different, isn't it? Right? So like, fish and chips. I think that's how you spell it there. That's funny. And sorry to go back a little bit. You said, I use Unity mostly for my projects. That's awesome, dude. Great. Okay, what does Khan say? Khan says, no, Zoom interviews only. Okay. My very good friend is from New Zealand. He was an ALT here for a bit. He helped me through a really dark time. Oh, that's awesome, man. I think all of our beer-fueled madness together. That's good. And, the funny thing is, like, honestly, like, Australians, New Zealanders, we do meet a lot of international people here. I met a New Zealander when it was really rare for New Zealanders to come to like Canada back in the 80s, and I just had nothing but kind of good vibes from them. Very similar kind of feel. Like, I've never been to New Zealand, but if I go, I have a feeling it's gonna feel like home. Like, people are pretty laid back there, similar to Vancouver, I would say. But thank you for sharing that, Con. Zoom interviews only. Q1 and then Q2. Yes, thank you for following that up. So yeah, guys, do check it out. You have the link there if you want to register for it, and it is free. So if you're free, do check it out on the 15th. I think it's around like 12-ish, maybe 12 p.m. or just before that. Awesome. Okay, guys, I have one more question for you. I don't even know if this is gonna pop up right. Probably not. No, it doesn't. It didn't keep the text that I put in for today. I don't know why. A little bit of a bug. Yes, technology is great, but technology is buggy. So I'm just gonna, luckily I wrote it down on a little piece of paper here. So I'm gonna tell you my next question. Okay, so the next question is, have you ever coded, programmed? I think for Matt, that's probably a yes for you. I have a feeling. Have you ever wanted to make software, design video games, make an app, make a website? Okay, let me know in the comments while I tell you my little story with this. So when I was growing up, my dad bought us, what is it, a Commodore 64. Okay, so I don't know if you guys are old school, but this was like back in the day where they had like floppy disks, right? You know, those little like thin square looking black things, and you'd like try to cut the little side of it out so you can make it double density so you can use both sides. I don't know, this might be totally foreign to you. But it was basically one of the first home computers, right? Before laptops started becoming a thing, before, you know, home computers were really in every household. And I remember my dad, I don't know if he bought it for me because he knew I was really into video games. But what he did is, alongside buying that computer, which, by the way, didn't have a monitor, right? You'd have to hook it up to a TV. And these are the old TVs, not the LCD TVs. You know those old TVs, like they're really thick and really heavy and a lot of glass at the back. And he bought this book, and I wasn't sure what it was, but I remember he spent like a good half day just typing page for page what was written. He was like hand typing the code basically, right? Which means like for every line you have to type it exactly, because when you code, it has to be exact, right? It's like when you open a website, it can't be like www.googleP.com. If you're off by one character, everything's wrong. He typed like, I swear, like a book about this thick, probably a third of it was the code for a video game. And I don't know if you're able to save that to a floppy disk. Like, I don't know if you could, you know, type it out once, save it on a floppy disk, and use it again. It probably didn't have enough data storage on it to do that. And he typed it out, and he called me over and he said, look what I did. And he pressed enter or something. He did the right command. And we started playing this cool game. Yes, it wasn't in color. Yes, it was pixelated. Yes, it looked like kind of like you know, if Star Wars and Pong had a baby, that would be like the trench run, but it's all like you know, like jaggedy edged white lines, just. And I think there was some sort of sound coming from it. It was amazing, and my dad was my hero from that day. Like, seriously, I mean, I was like, how did you do this? And yeah, he let me play it. And I don't know if he did it for him or he did it for me, but I was just so intrigued by it and so impressed by what he did. But at the same time, I did realize at the time how much time it took him to hand code that to play this one video game. It was amazing, blew my mind. And so like the next day I wanted to play the video game again. He was at work, and he told me, yeah, if you want to play the game, you're going to have to type it all out. And I was like, no way. It was crazy. Okay, fast forward that was elementary school, right? The end of elementary school. Fast forward a couple years, I'm in high school in Canada, in Vancouver. And yes, there's computer science. There's a computer science class. And I'm like, yes, I want to go in there. I want to make video games. I want to learn BASIC, which was the programming language at the time. And BASIC, you still have to kind of hand code everything. So it's like, line 00, function, blah, 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 line 10, that's the next line, and line 20, and I swear everything's got to be to the dot. You got to cross your T's, dot your I's, put your brackets here. Everything's got to be perfect. And there were no shortcuts. I don't even think we had a copy paste. This was like before we were using mice, right? Mice weren't a really big thing back then. I think it was on Windows. It was on MS-DOS. Okay, what I'm talking about is yes. All you guys are in the chat. All you program people there. You're feeling this, right? And Khan's just like, you're talking a different language, dude. Like, what are you talking about? Okay, Khan, I just hang in there, man. We're gonna get to you. Don't worry. Okay, but the end of the story is, I was so excited to learn computer science, and I wanted to go and I wanted to make stuff, right? I know you guys are awesome, talented, way better than me at programming. I know how to use computers. I don't know really how to program, and I'm having to learn for this job. And you know what? I'm really enjoying it now. But back in high school, my teacher was a computer. No, I don't mean it like he was like this YouTube tutorial AI thing. No, he was a human, but deep inside, he was so, I can't use the word, like so tight and so strict. It wasn't fun. He sucked the fun out of computing for me, and it scarred me. I was just like, oh my God. And I was like, what am I going to do? So I went into acting. I went to drama. I went like a totally different route. And, thankfully, it brought out that part of me. As you guys can see, I'm like really high energy. I'm comfortable in front of the camera. And that brought that out of me. But there's this other like essential techiness, geekiness, programming. Like I want to make things cool, digital worlds and this and that. And I've never gone to the point where I'm just a user. I'm not a programmer. And I would love to kind of show you guys that nowadays, with these type of technologies and these platforms, if kids have to learn this, it better be fun. It better be edutaining. It better be, game centric, because they're going to fall in love with it. Like I wanted to fall in love with it, but I couldn't. And now maybe the younger generation don't need to or not interested in falling in love with it, but I want them to, like to a certain degree. Okay. So anyways, that's the story. So guys, thank you so much for listening to my story. I'm going to go back to the chat now and pull up your guys' comments. The chat is fire. The chat is on fire. Let me get to you guys. I'm scrolling back up. Wow. Okay. So, okay, Cons, thank you, man, for being so patient. You're like, one, and number two, I'm kind of intimidated by the whole notion, right, of learning online, and you're intimidated, by teaching and stuff. It is intimidating. I do understand, right? So if you heard my story, like, I was super intimidated after getting into that computer science class. But I want to say, it's totally different now, man. So I'm really going to hold your hand with this, okay? Shao says, I started programming in grade school. Awesome. I just wanted to make games back then. Yeah, for me, I wanted to make games. I wanted to make computers. So I learned how to make, not computers. I wanted to make music. So I was learning piano at the time, and I was learning, that classical song. And in BASIC, we learned how to make a beep. And you would have to put in the frequency of the note. And I didn't know what that meant at the time, but I was just like, okay, 144 hertz. Okay, that's a C. So 138 is a C flat. So and I would hand code melodies, and it wasn't what I was supposed to be doing in class. I played PC games, and so imagining being able to make them was a great draw. Yes, but I stayed for the math. Programming is interesting in itself. Awesome, Shao. I think you are so smart, and it's wonderful to talk to you in person. But I do think that maybe math is really you're strong with the math. I'm strong with simple math, but when you get to calculus and stuff, I'm lost. Maybe that's something I have to get back into. Con Coleman's like, and 3. I'm older than you by a fair bit, Lito. My brother had a Commodore 64. Yeah. My best friend and I played some great cheesy games. Yeah, that's all good, man. We all come from different, different times and different generations. And it's cool that we all can kind of come together and share our experiences. So no worries, bro. No worries. You're all good. Shao's like, I made this program for my dad's colleague, and it saved them a lot of time and at work from what I heard. Dude. Shao, you kind of remind me a little bit of my friend Dylan. So give you a little bit of background on him. He's this guy that went to MIT. He came to Japan. I met him singing a cappella, and he's genius, right out genius. He taught himself how to program at age 5. And then he started hacking his elementary school's library system at age probably 8 and just doing pranks because he was bored, and he went to MIT and he came to Japan to work on robots. And a lot of that stuff involves programming, and a lot of it he taught himself as well. Erika is the big robot that he worked on. Now he's back in Silicon Valley and in San Francisco, working for Google on a secret project that I cannot tell you about and I don't even know about. But yeah, he's kind of made it finally. So that's awesome. But yeah, you kind of remind me of him because I think both of you got into programming and math really, really, really early. Erika, check it out. She's the first Android newscaster for NHK, I think. It's kind of crazy. Let's move on. So Matt says, my last 2 projects have been mostly code-based. A productivity app, sweet dude, and a dice tray for PC desktop. Woo! Before that, I used programming for prototypes. Programming for prototypes. I love that. I love the alliteration there. That could be like a geek's band name. Programming for prototypes. I have decided I don't like programming though. Okay, that's cool. So you're more of like, you use the tools to make other creative things. I get it, man. I think I might be more of the same. And when we talk about stuff like that, we're both kind of bouncing off each other all the time. I had ColecoVision. Me too, dude. I got ColecoVision. Atari 2600 hybrid. I think I beat you all. Maybe. Hey, I had a ColecoVision. I didn't have the Atari. Man, talking about these old kind of gaming systems, computers, doesn't it like go back to like the 80s, maybe earlier for you, where there were times where you didn't have like a certain system, but your friend did? So after school, you'd go to their house and either, you know, play the Atari or play the Nintendo, or they'd come over to your house and you'd show them how to download 0-day wares. And maybe I shouldn't talk about that stuff. Anyways, Amiga 500 after that. Whoa, dude. Okay, you definitely take the cake. Oh my. Con saying, by the way, my favorite YouTube sound engineering guy, Spectre Sound Studios, aka Glenn Fricker. Oh, have you met the Frickers? No, I'm just joking. Started recording metal music on a Commodore 64. Pretty crazy stuff. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, look at the technology that they sent the first people to the moon with. I think that technology was less than what was in a Commodore 64. It's definitely less than what's in like a smartphone. Like smartphones just, oh my God, there's so much technology in there, right? Okay. And Xiao's talking about me programming in basics. The line numbers. Yes, the line numbers. This was a thing, right? Where you had to type in the line numbers. If you got those wrong, you had 10, the next line's 20, the next line's 30. They used to, you know, we'd have to code, or what would you call it? Programming input, data input at that time. And then we'd print it out on the dot matrix printer. You guys know those pages that's like, this is not bubble jet. This is like, had little perforated strips on the side with little holes. You know, the paper had holes, and then you would like, and you rip it out at the dotted line, and then you'd have to like take off the sides, and then we'd have to bring that printout to the teacher, and he was the computer. He was the human, you know, soft computer that would have to check everything and like, oh, you missed an asterisk here. You know, your syntax is wrong. This is not going to compile. You know, oh my God, I love computers. Don't say that to me. Anyways, I'm going off here, guys. This is the geek part of me. I remember the reason you go 10, 20, 30 is when you insert lines later, you can go 15, 16, 17 without changing the following lines. I see. Oh, there you go. See, I didn't even get that far, man. Matt saying, maxing out the Amiga 500 at 1 megabyte of RAM with less than 40 frames of bad animation. Oh my gosh. And Khan's finally saying, don't worry, I did a little bit of writing basics, that computer language we talked about, on one of those beasts in 6th grade. I sucked at it. Hey. Oh, man. So, yeah, so you did have to learn a bit of coding back then. I don't even think they called it coding back then, right? I sucked at it, too, because it wasn't very visual for me. And it was very logical, yes. And I think if you have an affinity for math and logical thinking, then programming and coding is going to come really natural for you. But if you don't, then the tools they had at that time to teach it, the materials and stuff, the curriculum wasn't doing it for me, really. And I didn't think it did it for a lot of people. But now it's totally different. And that's what I want to show. Oh, you guys these are so interesting comments. Thank you so much for being so engaging in the chat. I think we all innately know calculus, but the math notations are confusing. Hell yeah. And Matt20 says, my friend had the Famicom. Okay, we did that a lot. Yeah, I love going over to your friend's house. So did he have like the Famicom? Was it like the Japanese reddish one? Or did he have the Nintendo Entertainment System? You said Famicom, so I just went to Dendentown the other day with my wife Chica, and we went to the retro gaming place, you know, the one with Metal Gear Solid Snake outside. And they had them side by side. It had the Famicom and the Nintendo Entertainment System, the NES. Khan's like, I had the first gen 2600 in about 79 or so. Ooh, okay. You're beating us on the timeline, that's for sure. Oh geez, I printed out some sheet music on those dot matrix things with that little of pixels that go back and forth. Yeah, for sure. Oh man, us old timers, you know. Nintendo, keeping it local though. I don't know if I can do the gang sign for Nintendo. Nintendo, is that an N? There you go. Nintendo. Oh, guys, I have to, at one point I'm gonna have to cut this off because we got to get to the meat of today. But these chats, these things you're putting in the chat are so interesting. Khan says, my college girlfriend from Saitama had the Japanese Famicom. It was fascinating. Yeah, my wife, we were there in that corner, and she's like, I was like, did you have this one? Did you have this one? Like, and she went down one level on the shelf, and it was the what was it, Chica? The twin disc Famicom. So it had like a floppy drive. What do they call it in Japan? Twin disc, twin drive. And I'm like, this is a mystery because we never got that in North America. Xiao, did you get that in China? Did you get like a Famicom with a disc drive? Okay, we're gonna get into video games. I will do more of a video game episode. Monday is more of Den Town. But at one time, dude, we're going to do a full-blown video game live stream here. So don't worry. We're going to get your geek on. Don't worry about it. Oh, by the way, Khan had a great question about one of my pictures on Facebook. And my picture said, this is for all you dweebs, geeks, nerds, and weebos. If anyone in the chat can tell him where the word weebo or weeboo comes from, please put it in the chat, and I'll pick it up a little bit later when we go to the chat. Okay. So awesome, guys. That was such an awesome firing of comments. Thank you for being so interactive. It really helps me out and really helps the stream. We are going to get to the heart of this. We are going to do a little teaching demo, okay? You guys are probably more licensed to teach this than I, but I will do my best. This is mainly, the person I'm imagining to teach here is Khan. Khan, you are my model student. But everybody who's watching this live, you guys, we're going to make this interactive. So I'm going to ask you questions. We're going to make our own website together with your suggestions. And yeah, help us out here, all right? So don't be shy. Type in the chat. All right. So just getting back to Xiao's before we get into it. We have a lot of Fami clones in China, but never the real thing. Oh, really? I was able to get my hands on a computer because my mom needed it for word processing. She was a journalist. Very, very cool. Best way to learn is to teach. You got it, man. You got it. You guys are awesome. All right, let's go into the screen share. Vroom. All right, so this is how we do it. All right, let me go to the actual Code Avengers web page. If I can go to the home. Don't want to log out. Maybe if I go to Code Avengers, is it gonna? Okay, if you put in Code Avengers, so that's the name of the company coming out of New Zealand. It's www.codeavengers.com. I will put it in the description later. Go here. I think it's actually it's gonna take you to my course library. Okay, but you guys can check in. I'm already logged in. And I'll give you a little bit of an overview of what they have to offer. Okay, so profile and courses, course overview. So again, this is coming out of New Zealand, and it's been implemented for K-12 there. So this was built for teaching the teachers to teach the students how to code from K-12. And it's been really successful there. And that platform has now spread to Australia, to China, to more and more countries in the South Pacific Rim region. And we're now trying to infiltrate the Japanese market, right, and help that out as well. So yeah, a lot of the stuff we're going to see today is already translated into Japanese, but there are opportunities later if any of you guys are interested for salespeople to help promote this, as well as translators. If you guys want to get in on this, you can get access to this whole program, the pro version. If you can help translate the pro into Japanese, because it's halfway there, but we're really trying to push it out, you can get access to all of these if you want. But anyways, or if you know someone who is, I'm going to give you all of the rundown and the email address and who to send it to a little bit later, okay? But that's Steve Budd you want to be talking to. So let's look at this. It was course overviews, intro to coding, which is kind of what we're looking at today. Learn HTML, CSS, that's for basically making websites. Learn JavaScript, learn Python, learn planning, learn game development, learn web development, learn typography. All right, and yeah, if I go to, this is my profile page. Okay. All right, so we already got me in here. All right, okay, so it has it split into two sections: the junior for ages 5 to 14, and then the pro for people who are a bit more have an affinity for it, and that's for ages 12 and up. That was the Code Camp age range that I was gonna touch in Tokyo, and they do have a few free courses, okay, but we're gonna be looking at today HTML, CSS intro, build a wiki junior pages, okay? And that's one of the things that we are looking at here. I'm gonna go to the chat real quick. Oh, hello, Ninjapella. Oh, you missed my big plugin for you. This is Jeff Thatcher, everybody. I just showed you guys their website, Rockapella. He's the very handsome one on the right, the beatbox master. And yeah, dude, I sent them your web link as well as to check out this video where you guys kind of customize the places of the names for Japan a lot there. So we're gonna plug all of that into you later, into the chat and or description later. But thank you for checking it out, being my guide for the VR alt space stuff. We have a lot of people in the chat already talking about VR, talking about creating worlds, talking about their experience with technology and programming and stuff. But Con, this is for you, dude. HTML, CSS intro. Let's get right into it. Let's get into the meat. Okay, so again, all of this is online. So yes, kids can kind of do it by themselves, but they can also do it with a live teacher to help them with any of their questions and give them feedback. Yeah, teachers can use this in a live teaching situation as well. All right, so there is split into 5 parts, and we're going to look at this. And by the end of this, we're going to make a very simple, customized website, okay? I've already gone through this since I'm going to be teaching this for the Code Camp already. I'm going to show you what it kind of looks like. Code Avengers. All right. Okay, so again, this is the kind of the final view. Don't feel overwhelmed from all this text, because we're going to get rid of that and we're going to build it back up. But this is the website that I made. This is showing you kind of like in developer mode what it would look like kind of on a smartphone or a tablet. Okay. Hey, didn't we see this guy a little bit earlier? Huh? Yeah. And if I click here, it says show page 1.html in a new tab. If I click that, it's automatically, or should open that in a full page. Okay, so this is the kind of thing we are gonna make. All right, so this is like a Wikipedia type page, Wiki Junior. You go to the index, and then I'll scroll down and show you. You actually type in a few talking points about it. You put in a title. You put in a hyperlink. So if you click on this, it'll go to another website. You can put in video. Okay. And all this stuff is copyright free. I went to the company's website, and it's part of their media kit. And yeah, you can actually link a YouTube video to that as well. All right. And so yeah, those hyperlinks are live. So like this is a real website. Like if I copy and pasted this to you guys, you can actually see it on your end. I don't want to do that yet. If I click on this, then we go to a Wikipedia link on the Kia. Sorry, they didn't have a Wikipedia link on that particular product that I chose. And specs, that I made this page as well. Put on all the pictures, basically went to the website, copy and pasted this info, and put in a few more pictures, and powered by Code Avengers, of course. Awesome, awesome. All right, so let's get back to that. Hold on a sec. I just got to quickly check this because I think my friend is trying to join the live stream. Hold on, Colin. I tried to find a stream, but couldn't. Is it still going? Okay, hold on a sec. Colin, Matt, you know Colin. He's from working there at the Blarney Stone. Yeah, man. Let me get it to him real quick. Couldn't find it. Oop. Here you go. Doing the demo now. Awesome. We are going live here. Ah, there we are in delayed time. All right. Yeah, let me just pause that so it's not hogging as much memory. Okay. If you guys have any questions, please do put them in the chat. And I will get back to them after a little bit of this segment. Okay. So, wow. Xiao's saying already, this thing looks pretty sophisticated. Yeah, it's really well thought out. And the way they present it is in a very clear, very easy way for young learners to do, easy way for teachers to pick up quickly. It's just kind of like really well thought out, and I think it shows. So let's get to it. Oh, okay, I think I already clicked there. Boom. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I have an ability to reset this. Okay, if you can see at the top, I'm going to reset this. So all of this is going to go away. It's going to reflect, should be reflected on the right page. Okay, so nothing's happening right now. And what you usually look at is the left side. I'm going to read it for you. Hopefully you can see it. It says, add text to a code editor. That's what we're going to learn. At first, I'm going to go kind of slow. Then after that, we're going to kind of speed it up here, all right? Let me put my face. I can feel my face. Okay, hold up. Let me put it over here. There we go. Is that better? All right, so you guys can see the whole thing. Add text to a code text editor. Welcome to this short course where you will create a mini website using 2 computer languages. HTML defines the content of web pages. CSS defines how it looks. Okay, and a lot of the English is kind of more easier for a student to understand, especially even if it's their second language. We're going to do the whole code camp in English. So that's what I'm saying. For you English teachers out there, you might need to learn this stuff because you'll probably be teaching coding and English to a non-native student if you're here in Japan. Like, that's the thing. Yes, a lot of it is already translated in Japanese. It's translated in Chinese. Those other countries that are already running it, it's doing really well in China, by the way. Your web browser, okay, and you can click on the hyperlink. I think it shows you a definition. A web browser is a software that blah, 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 blah. You guys probably know that much. Reads HTML and CSS code and displays the web pages on your screen. You'll use HTML and CSS to create 2 web pages to add to the Code Avengers Wiki Junior, a version of Wikipedia for children. So it's those 2 web pages that I showed you. It was like kind of the main page and then the specs page. And we're going to customize that. Okay, so let's go to the create step, okay? Follow these steps to create the website topic. All right, so guys, now normally the demo, they do something New Zealand centric, of course, because it's a New Zealand company, but let's go to the chat. Do we have, first thing that comes to your mind, what interests you? What is, again, your favorite food, your favorite animal, your favorite music, whatever? I'm gonna take one of the most interesting, please don't say, oh, my favorite food is milk. My favorite color is vanilla. That is a color, right? My favorite color is cream. Tell me, I'm going to pick up one interesting one. What topic? Hey, you got to keep it safe, okay? This is still a family-friendly channel, kind of. So let's choose a topic. Choose any topic you like for your first page, such as your favorite movie, sport, invention, or famous person. Cool. Look at the Wiki Junior homepage to see what your end website might look like. And that's what we already looked at. But if I do click here, it will open their basic website that they use as a, they used the, it's a me, Mario, and Luigi. Oh, that's cool. And we got sort of, oh yeah, that, how nostalgic is that, huh? Oh, come on, look at that. Oh, and who's that handsome guy there with today's live stream? 8 people watching, sweet. And again, so we have the index page, and then we have, I think if we go to Mario, it goes into more detail about him and stuff. So those are the 2 websites we're gonna be looking at. Oh, we got Rebecca in the house. Hey. Rebecca's like, ooh, I'm into Dadaism. I will find out what that is. I'm not sure. And Xiao's giving me a hard answer here with my favorite food is pizza. Awesome. Xiao, you got a really nice comment here. And one of the problem for Japanese programmers is most of those documents for third-party library packages are untranslated or untranslated, i.e. incomplete, incorrect, low-quality translations. Right. Yeah, that is hard, the kind of Japanese translations. So that's why learning English is quite important, right? Of course, doing pure programming like this is the basic. Yes. I think I'm going in backwards order of your comments. Sorry. I think the problem with this kind of teaching app, I haven't checked this one out, but I've seen ones like it, is most of the time at a real job you are reading documents. I mean, again, this is to get you started, just to get you in. Matt 20's like, the downfall of capitalism. Really? That's your favorite bedtime story? Yeah, mine too. Yo, Anthony in the house. Give it up for my bro Anthony in America. Thank you for coming up all the way here. And man, asking you guys for your favorite topic is like asking a serious question in a Facebook group thread. You're not going to get any really straight answers, except for Xiao. Kind of. My favorite food is existential dread. Okay, Tony, the question is, what we're doing here, Tony, Anthony, I'm sorry. Anthony, since you joined in right now, is we're making a customized website. It's an introduction to coding, so that this is mainly for children, but also for the teachers who have to teach children anywhere from K to 12 to learn how to code and the concepts, basics of coding. So the question I had was, we're going to make a website similar to this, like looking at Super Mario. We'll go back to the index page. And I wanted to get a topic. And of course, people are giving me some very interesting topics. Yes, of course. So hold up. Oh, what happened? Okay, so all right, I'm gonna have to choose from those guys. I could use a play cheers button. How about Xiao gets the there you go, Xiao. All right, toenail clippings. Wait a minute, are you cutting up toes and putting them into males and toenail clippings? Is that what you meant? You should do something on Den Town. I think that's not a bad one. Toenail clippings, I mean. Right. Okay, Den Town, we got... Okay, what are the more kind of safer ones? Toenail clippings, I don't know if that's going to be a big hit. Den Town sounds good. Pizza's all right. The downfall of Dadaism, I'm not sure what that is. Tony, Anthony, do you have any... I don't know why I keep calling you Tony. It's like Tony's tips, right? Cons, like, my favorite Japanese art is ukiyo-e. That's a really good one. That's a good one to do. I think that's more cultural. And why does mommy drink? Yeah, I don't think Wikipedia has a page on that, or maybe they have too many pages on that. Sorry. Trying to keep it family friendly here, guys. All right, we're going back. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do on line 1 in the code editor, type your topic heading here with your chosen topic. Okay, I think we're going to go with... Oh, it's got Andrew in the house. Thank you. He's like, yo, YouTube. Party noises for Andrew. Thank you for plugging that in, Andrew. You are the best. Andrew, we're going to look at a topic here. But I think I think Khan's going to be the winner here with my favorite Japanese art is ukiyo-e. Okay, so we're going to do that. We're going to replace this with ukiyo. We're just going to type it right in here. Oh, look at those nice lines. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not 10, 20, 30. Okay. Ukiyo-e with a hyphen. Let's do it like that. Is that cool? Okay. So you've typed it into line 1 here, and then on the right it's already kind of showing up really basically in Times New Roman. Okay, please click check. Click check. Did I just say click check? I do that a lot. Click check to check when you are done. Click next to move to task 2. All right, so all those are at the top here. I can click check. Yes, I can click check. Yes. When you're done. But I want to show you one more thing here. Okay. Sorry, Ninja Pelly. He's like, ooh, phooey. You're very welcome. Ukiyo is one of the many reasons Mom drinks. And Khan saying, thanks, man. I'm flattered. You guys are super funny. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Andrew's face emoji is what's happening to my face right now. Okay, but another cool thing is they actually have video links to a YouTube video. Is it popping up here? Where's the video? Okay, so it does say it in the bottom left as the explanation, but the actual YouTube link is here. So if I click here, it's going to open an embedded browser with a quick YouTube link.
My name's Mike, and I'll be your tutor for this 1-hour introduction to coding web pages with HTML and CSS.
And Mike is from New Zealand,
now,
I believe.
Because Code Avengers is used by thousands of middle schools, high schools, universities, and individuals around the world, these courses are carefully designed to be fun and effective for all ages. The lessons use simple words so that you can understand even if your first language isn't English.
Yeah, simple words
now,
like Dadaism.
Before we get started, let's take a quick tour of the lesson page. Each Code Avengers lesson has 5 tasks you must complete in order to move on to the next lesson.
Nice little bite-sized
For each task, you'll read instructions. On the left, write code to create web pages in this middle section, and the computer will automatically update your web page displayed on the phone as you type the code. Okay, let's get started.
Okay, so you got the idea. He kind of explains it for you. It's kind of like the role of me as a live teacher, but in YouTube format. And that's I think it's a public link. You can actually watch it on YouTube. And all of their steps will have some sort of YouTube video. I think most of them anyways. So that's an option as well, right? So they give you a lot of different ways to learn. Now, Rebecca is like, I can hear your voice in my head, Rebecca. You're like, oh, geez. I used to make pages on HTML back in '98. Yeah, it's HTML5 now though, isn't it? Right. But anyways, yeah. Again, this is for the beginner. If you were just coming here, this is mainly for teaching, K to 12, the concepts of coding and programming and getting them into it really easily. Again, who knows? Maybe if you're teaching English here right now in Japan, you might have to be teaching programming and English to those same students in the future. So listen up. Okay, we're gonna hit the check button. Boom. And it says lesson 1.1 complete. Click next to continue. And you can also open this in a new tab to see how your progress is going. We're going to go a little bit faster for the second one. We're at now 1.2. Spaces and blank lines. The phone displays what your text in the code editor looks like as a web page. Now let's add some information about your topic. Since it's a web page for children, try to make the text short, simple, and easy to understand. Right. It's kind of like a presentation. So what they're saying is whatever you type here, you're gonna see it reflected on the right here. Add topic information to a web page. Use sites like Wikipedia to get information on your topic. After your heading, add at least 2 paragraphs of text. Okay. So we have goal 1, go to Wikipedia. Goal 2, 2 paragraphs at least, and press enter key. Press the enter key after the heading on line 1 in the code and after each paragraph of text. Okay, so let's go. Let's click on this link. It's already a hyperlink to Wikipedia. To the Durls von Stira. What is that? Like a ferret? Madagascan. Okay, so we're going to click on Uki-oe. Ukiyo. Oh, Karn, look at that. You spelled it right. I spelled it wrong. It's with a hyphen. All right. Ooh, Uki-oe. Awesome. Okay, so we go here. I'm not sure if we're able to use this this art. I think we might be able to. Oh, cool. I love the skeleton art. Yeah, there's a lot of great ukiyo there. So we need to get 2 paragraphs. So basically what they're saying, at least 2 paragraphs, and you can basically copy and paste it from Wikipedia, because Wikipedia is always right. No, I'm just joking. Why don't we go ahead and do these 3 paragraphs, okay? So I'm going to select it, right-click, and copy, and we're going to go back to the page here. And it says, after your heading, add at least 2 paragraphs of text. Okay, so we're going to go here. That's the heading. I'm going to press enter, and basically copy and paste. I think I can do that with the shortcut. I can also right-click and paste it here as well. Boom. Ooh, awesome. So translate it like that. Press the enter key after the heading on line 1, which I did. Oh, sorry, I the head. So I want me to press enter here, and after each paragraph of text. So it's basically saying make a line after each paragraph. So we got the paragraph, there is a line, paragraph, there's a space. It already kept that format. But if it hadn't had that, like if it was like that, what they're saying is at the end of the paragraph, please hit enter so that there's a nice divider. Now, interestingly, so what you're seeing on the left doesn't really exactly look what's on the right, okay? Because what we see on the left is the actual like stuff you're typing into the coding, the programming language, right? The HTML, but it's not reading these spaces as spaces. There's another kind of function that you'll see later. Oh, Anthony's like, I'm so lost. Don't worry, man. Just hang in there. We're getting there. This is just the second step. So first step was in the editor, write your topic. Okay, that's it. And then find some interesting text about it. So what we did is we went to Wikipedia we researched ukiyo-e. It doesn't have to be Wikipedia. It could be Google. And we're just kind of like, for simplicity's sake, copying and pasting some information, and we're going to put that onto our own webpage because we're trying to make our own little Wikipedia here. It doesn't have to be this, but they're using this as a really quick example. Okay. please click the check button when you're done. And what I was just saying is, when you're coding, you want things to be like easy to see, right? You want it to be kind of like at a glance, you can see what's happening. So if I didn't have these indents on the left, it's kind of hard to know where the paragraphs end. So it's kind of like a more of a visual cue to keep it nice and organized is basically. I guess you could go more if you wanted to. It's not that efficient, but I'll show you later why it doesn't do the same on the right, because you need to kind of tell the software, hey, I want it to make a kind of a space here on the right. And we'll look at that a little bit later. So hang in there, bro. Hang in there. We got you. We got you. All right. Hit check. And lesson 1.2 is completed. Go to next. Boo-boo. Boo-boo-boo. All right. There you go. Paragraph tag. What do you call this? Arrow bracket, left bracket, P, right bracket. Is it a bracket? What do you call these, guys? Help me out with the name. I don't know what it's called. Arrow bracket, less sign, more than sign. I don't know. The web browser ignores extra spaces in HTML code. Okay, so what they're saying is on the right, the web browser is going to ignore these extra spaces that you see on the left, like I was trying to say. No matter how many spaces or new lines you put in between your code, they are shown as one space apart on the phone output. So what they're saying is, no matter how many empty lines you put on the left, it's just going to use it as like kind of like one space, or maybe like just a space, not a paragraph indentation. So what we need to do to achieve that, we're going to copy and paste this little bit of code. Okay, it's the paragraph tag. It's a tag. It's like, shows you what it's supposed to do. To change the structure of text, you need an HTML tag. HTML is the language that we're using to program. HTML, hypertext markup language, is that what it's called? HTML tags are special bits of code that give structure to a web page. Each tag begins with that left pointy bracket and ends with the right pointy bracket. I don't know what do you guys call those? All right, hold on. Let's see if anybody knows. Copy and paste is coding. I don't actually code. Right. So far, there's no code. Yeah, this is basically pseudocoding, setting up what you plan on doing rather than doing it just yet. Yeah, I mean, it's not like full on, right? You got to start somewhere for sure, Matt. Yeah, and it's just like the introduction to get them in there. Again, we're just at step 3 here, and of a 5-part series. So there's way more than this. This is just the beginnings. All right. So for example, this P tag is the paragraph tag and moves text to a new line and adds space after the paragraph of text. Okay. So define your paragraphs. In your code on line 3, put this at the start of at least 2 of your paragraphs of text. See what happens to the web page shown on the phone output. Okay. So we're gonna copy and paste this, and it says insert. So I'm gonna put my cursor here, and it says insert. So if I insert, what's basically it's going to insert here. Okay, so we have that P paragraph tag. Oh, and on the right, boom, it made a paragraph. Okay, so we're going to do the same here in this space. We're going to insert this. Oh, in your code on line 3. Oh, sorry, it said on line 3. So I made a bit of a mistake. It should be on line 3. So technically, this whole thing is line 3. Put it there at the end. Oh, automatically went to line 4. Okay, all right. We don't need those extra lines. And then do the same for the others. So I'm going to put it at the end of the line. Line 5 is that paragraph, and insert, boom. And there, and we get another division. If we really wanted to add another paragraph, I guess I could insert it here too. And it would do that, but it's all on the same line, not at the end of the line. And I think that's kind of maybe messy coding, because it's visually not as easy to see. I think coders would probably want to keep it a little bit more aligned. I don't know. Again, I'm still pretty new at this stuff. I'm learning as I have to teach this stuff as well. Okay, so yeah, this is still the basics. We're still at the basics. All right. So press check when you're done. Check, and next. Okay, bear with me. We have a couple more. Okay, main heading bracket H1 close bracket. The main heading on the example page uses this code. Okay, so it's H1 with those brackets, Mario Brothers, and then bracket slash, is that a backslash? I'm not sure exactly which one it is. H1 and then bracket to the right. The heading code has 3 parts. It's the start tag with that looking like that, and the heading text, the text being Mario Brothers, and then the end tag. So this particular one needs a beginning one and an end one, a starting and an end. So you're sandwiching what you want to make as a main heading. We're going to make this text the main heading, sandwiched by these 2 tags, these 2 bits of code. Notice that the difference between the start and the end tags, is the forward slash symbol, because it's moving forward, right? Backslash would be that way. I always get that wrong. Okay, it starts with these 2 symbols to denote that it's the ending tag. Okay, on line 1, click before your heading and add the start tag. Okay, we're going to click at the beginning of ukiyo-e. I could hand type this. I could go this H1, boom. But just for convenience and just to like help the kids out, they just make it really easy. So you just insert, right? It's like copy paste. Whoa, now the whole thing is huge. Like, what? I didn't want that. I just want ukiyo-e big. So I think the next thing to do is click at the end of your heading and add the end tag. Okay, so we're going to copy and paste that end tag with the forward slash there. Oh, nice. Yeah, nice. That's real nice. All right, so that's looking more of like what you normally see like on a Wikipedia page, right? Got like the big heading, it's like kind of big. You can do this on a word processor too, kind of same concept, right? Bold, big, boom, boom, boom. Okay. All right, yeah, HTML is markup language, hence not exactly code. Okay, guys, yes, you guys, it's true. Yeah, I mean, what you're saying is true. But yeah, we're starting with that. And then next they get into CSS later as well. So I don't know, you tell me CSS. Is CSS code, what is it? CSS stands for something style sheet. Is that what it is? But anyways, this is, again, just the beginning. Just to get kids into like the concept of it, right? I mean, look at, Tony's lost as well. He's like, what is this going on here? Why do I have to put all these things? And I'm sure Khan's probably like drinking his 3rd Chuhai or something right now. Like, hurry up and finish this. I don't know. But just bear with me guys. Okay. But thank you for, the technical differences. Maybe this isn't coding yet, but it is kind of a, it's part of maybe starting it, I would say. Okay. Headings H2 and H3. Okay. The tags H1, starting tag, end tag are put around the main heading, text on your web page. H2 is used for subheadings and H3 is used for subheadings. So this text on the right, this will be like the biggest one, and then a subheading will be a little bit smaller and a subheading will be a little bit smaller there. Heading tags make headings text bigger and add space above and below it as shown in the example below. There you go. Yeah, so that's what I was saying here. You put these H1, H2, H3 start and end tags, you're going to get a big one, a middle sized one, and then a smaller one, right? Okay, so let's add subheadings. Insert the following subheading code above at least one of your paragraphs. H2, your subheading, and H2. Insert the following at least above one of your paragraphs. Okay, change the text, your subheading, to a suitable subheading. Okay, so ukiyo-e, and then subheading. Remember to click check. Okay, let's make a subheading here. Earliest works emerged. Okay, I don't know, I'm just gonna say earliest works. Okay, and I'll put it like that, and we're gonna insert this. Okay, so I want earliest works as my the actual heading, so I'm gonna make sure that I put that in. So what this command does now is I just copied. If you don't know what I did there, I typed it in earliest works. I highlighted it and then I did Command C or Control C on a Mac on a PC, and I'm gonna press insert. It's gonna insert this whole thing here, but I'm gonna replace this kind of placeholder, your subheading. I'm gonna replace that with what I just typed in, earliest works. And as you can see, we have now a subheading here. If we wanted a subheading, we would do the same down here if we had more text, which technically I think we could do if we really wanted to. But yeah, just for time's sake, let's keep it at that. Yes, Matt, thank you so much. cascading style sheets. That's what CSS means. Thank you so much. Okay, so we go back to the chat here. Khan's like 5th drink already. Right. Xiao's like, oh, it's code, just not code. Right. It's not code, obviously, because you're not going to start off a beginner with code. And Khan's just joking. I do want to chat afterwards somehow, so you got to keep it real. Matt's like saying cascading style sheets. Thank you so much for that. All right, so we're on to, I think that is pretty much it for the first little bit. And, we can go more and more. Okay, now this is now lesson 2.1, where it gets more and more into it. And I don't know if you guys want to, do the whole thing, but I will just kind of, the whole thing's going to take way longer. But let's just go back to the overview. So it's adding headering and paragraph tags, valid and pretty web pages, adding images, links with anchors, which means you're adding a hypertext link to another page. So like if on this page I wanted it to go to like an artist of ukiyo-e, I would type his name, put those tags, and then link it to the next page so that when you click that, it'll open that artist's page. And then add style with CSS. So at the end of it, you're going to get something that looks like their example here. All right. Again, I just wanted to show you the platform and how it's built. I mean, if we had another hour, we'd go through the whole thing together. But I think the point is just to show you, this is a cool way to get kids started anyways. At the end, they're going to be able to make something like this, with video, with CSS involved. Like, look how cool this looks already compared to what we're able to do. We're starting off with this easy stuff on the right, and we're building step by step to get it to something that looks a little bit more polished, a little bit more professional. Like you're going to be able to, with CSS, change your background here. You're going to be able to add this hyperlink to Mario. You're going to add more photos and whatnot. So, yeah. Okay, Matt, dude, thank you so much for being on the stream. He said, I have to head out. Hard to focus on mixing. My heart will go with the ice baby when I have HTML going on in the background. Later, peeps. Later, Matt. Thanks for coming, dude. We really appreciate it. And he's saying LOL at Xiao's soup comment. That's funny. Xiao's like, as in cereal is a soup, but not a soup. Yeah, so they're kind of different. I know what you're saying. But again, it's just kind of the beginnings. I mean, you would probably teach this to a kid maybe around junior high school, maybe even younger, for their first foray into something of the world of coding. So this might be just like opening the door, So guys, anyways, thank you so much for all of your patience and following. I hope that gives you just a really tiny sliver introduction to it. If you want to, if you have any questions, please go ahead and shout them. Xiao will answer all your questions now that Matt has left. No, I'm just joking. I'll try to answer your questions. Let me know what you thought of it. If you've been coding HTML since back in the day, but yeah, man, you're way ahead of us. But if you go to this site, it goes all the way to like, let's go. Again, this is the beginner. Like this is, in English language terms, this is like, this is a pen, this is an apple, the pen is on the desk, like really, really basics, right? At the end, you get into like Python. They talk about programming. Let's have a quick overview here. Lesson overviews, programming languages. Okay, now we're getting to more like the actual programming and typing and the coding. So maybe coding and programming is different, right? Like coding is learning all these tags and learning syntax and stuff, and maybe programming is actually using the language to build something, I guess. This course, what are programming languages and how do we use them? This course will teach you what features they contain, the difference between high-level and low-level language, and what a compiler is, okay? So this is now we're getting into like the more advanced stuff, right? Achieve. Okay, yeah, now they're getting into the nitty-gritty details of programming languages. Introduction to compilers. Holy crap. Let's look at, okay. Introduction to programming language. Okay, let's see if this is more coding, okay? I haven't really touched this stuff much. So, okay, there you go. Computers and tasks. Understanding what a computer is. Okay, computer language. When is a language a programming language? What features does it have? At the end, what do we learn here? Features of programming language. Okay, so this is a kind of like just understanding what a programming language is. The features. You scored 0. It won't let me go to the next lesson. Basic features, output, input, storaging, flow control in programming language, understanding the purpose of syntax, adding with circuits, operators. Okay, so Xiao, I think your question was valid, and in the later levels, you are getting more into the coding, right? Programming stuff. So again, we were just looking at more of the introductory stuff, and it covers all of that. It goes from the very, very basics all the way to the top, and I just wanted to keep it really easy for that, intro to coding, intro to CSS, HTML. I think that's honestly a good entry point for that. All right, so Khan saying, let me pull that up here. Khan saying, yeah, everyone, including me, has to start somewhere. I wasn't a guitar shredder at 14. I started with some lame thing on the first 2 strings. My first bar chord took about a month. Oh man, thank you for sharing that. Yeah, you're right. It's true. Like, technology is going so fast, so quick nowadays, and we're expected to know everything. But don't be afraid to. I'm a beginner too. Like, when it comes to YouTube and stuff, and everyone, you're right. Everyone has to start somewhere. But you start to learn one skill, and then you add another level of complexity, So really, don't compare your beginning with another person's middle. Xiao, a lot of the things you're saying here do make sense though. Okay, you say, well, I wouldn't say HTML is introductory. It's just kind of different. Yeah, if you have a text document in HTML and you open it in a browser, it will show the web page. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, again, I honestly, like, I'm so new to all of this too, and I'm not too concerned about the labels, but I see what you're saying. It is different, and by the end of the course, I mean, I think that's the end of like an hour, they're going to be able to make a web page like that, and then from there it goes into more and more deeper concepts. So yeah, maybe it is different, but it's just to kind of introduce you to at least a little bit of what it is you're going to be learning later. That's interesting, Xiao. So I would ask you then, so how did you start getting into coding? Where did you start, and how did you learn? Did you self-teach yourself? Did you have a class in school? I'd really be interested to know, because your feedback like this is really interesting. But what it seems like is these programs, for someone who's starting out, especially young learner, abstract concepts might be hard for really, really young learners. But once you get to junior high school, they're probably learning faster than the teachers teaching them, honestly. And that's the challenge with teaching these new type of technologies. So the thing is, like, a printed textbook is gonna go out of date way faster than something you can update like online right now, right? So yeah, okay, you're right, you're typing a lot in the chat here, Xiao, so let me get there. Visual Basic 6.0. Okay, nice. I wish I had started on Visual Basic. I think it's more visual, I guess, rather than typing it all out. We even have a GUI designer. Sweet, really cool. Man, programming languages these days rarely comes with one like, geez. Man, programming languages these days. I'm not sure what that means, what you meant by that. Main programming languages these days? Is that what you meant? Main programming languages these days, perhaps. Could you please clarify that for me? But that's really cool, Yeah, had we had more time, I think for people who don't know anything about coding, honestly, it's not a bad starting point, even though if it's technically not coding, right? But introducing them to concepts that might lead to coding, and at least coming up with, something that they can, see output really quickly. Again, like, you heard my story of when I did it in high school, and I was just traumatized. Like, this was not what I signed up for, kind of thing. And that's what we're trying to avoid. Like, anyways, that's my personal message when it comes to having to introduce things like coding, programming to younger kids, so that the kids with the dreams of wanting to be a game designer, you know, Xiao, you've worked at a game company, you know how that is, and how cool it could be, you know, to work at like Square Enix. I taught English to some of those people in those companies, and theirs looks so cool, like having like Dragon Quest things in the back of their backgrounds, having a big slime there, and we're talking about like, we couldn't really talk about the newest game coming up, but how cool would it be to work on like the newest video game, the newest Final Fantasy, and it all starts somewhere. It has to start somewhere. Right, Xiao's just saying, I'm just complaining about programming languages. No worries, guys. Okay, guys, so that's kind of the main heart of the teaching demo I wanted to look at today. Thank you so much. And Xiao says, a GUI designer is a very good teaching tool and very helpful for just making something quick. Awesome. Okay, guys, so I have a favor to ask you. We have 5 likes. That's awesome. Okay, can we get this to 7 likes? Can we get 2 more likes here? And if we do, if you're watching on Facebook, I think most of you are watching on YouTube, but if you can hit up a couple more likes, so we get to 7 likes, I would love to share a little bit of a sneak preview video that I have that's going to be ready for the Monday stream. This is mainly for the North American audience. This was my recent visit with Chica to Denden Town. But yeah, there was like a kind of cool video where we got stuff out of the gotcha machine, and it was kind of interesting. I wanted to share the first couple. We just need 1 more like. Come on, guys, 1 more like in there, and then I think we're gonna be good. Maybe that's all the likes we're gonna get today. I don't know. But if we can get 1 more like, 7 likes, then that would be awesome, and I will get that video going. But yeah, guys, I hope you're doing well. Are there any other questions for today's, I guess, the demo thing? Oh, one thing I have to do before we get to that, let me give you some time to hit those likes. Right. I'm going to plug in this event that's coming up for the New Zealand Partner Workshop, which I think I showed you. So let me go ahead and like drop all the links for today's stuff. Give me 1 second here. All right, so, all right, boom. I'm going to put that in the description later, but for all of you here right now, oh, awesome, we got to 7 likes. Thank you so much for like a starting out channel like me. It totally helps out. Let me put that in the links. These are all the links for today's stuff. Boom. Oh, it didn't come. Okay, I'll have to do it one by one. It doesn't allow me to kind of put all those characters in. So 1 second here. Okay, tell you what, I'm going to show you guys the video now that we got 7 likes. Thank you so much. And yeah, while we're doing that, I will just show you the first couple minutes. It's a little UFO catcher thing for these, well, you'll see, it's Pokemon Go pin badges. And I should have stopped after the first one because Chica was super lucky. Let me show you the bonus vid. Here we go. I guess so. Okay, Chica is gonna do the Pokemon badge crane game. 1 try, 100 yen. She's gonna do it once, I'll do one. That looks really hard, actually. The green one, if you try to get the green one, pull it up, maybe it will fall down. Or Frank, thanks so much, man. You did help out with getting that bonus one out.
Maybe a lot of those will
I have to copy these one by one. Can you guys hear it okay? It's like kind of crazy background music on this video. And again, this was taken with the Insta360 Go 2 just on my shirt there. No worries, Anthony. I know you're coming in and out. That's all good, man.
Once you touch it, you cannot touch it again. It's only 1 at a time.
And Frank, we went back to that.
Chica, no.
We went back to that UFO catcher that we did last time, and it's not there anymore. They don't have it. Sorry, dude. I wanted to do one video for you, but they don't have it in that store anymore.
Where I'm gonna go. That was pretty good, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna try to get this one. I'm gonna pull up the green. So if I pull up the green, it's gonna...
Anthony, I will answer your question after we finish watching this video.
I'm gonna try for the green though. Okay, let's line it up.
Okay, thanks, Xiao.
Oh, is that a good one? Is that a good one? Is that gonna make it? No! No, 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 no! Oh no, they got me. They got me. Oh no, they got me. Moi kai. Hi, hi.
All right, guys. So that was kind of a bonus video. That's a bit of a plug-in for the Monday stream. Yeah, so to get back to your questions here, let's see. Okay, so yeah, Anthony was like, where did you meet your wife, man? Oh, I met her in Japan. No. Kind of, you know, you meet people all over the place, you know, and it could be at work, it could be at school, it could be at a bar or club, which could be rare, but it could be. She was a student of mine at the English school I taught at, and I taught her second last lesson, and yeah, I was really impressed, you know, when I saw her, and I actually taught her one more time. It was just kind of luck of fate, and it was so I taught her second last lesson and her last lesson, and you know, just things were the way it were, and I approached her and I said, hey, can we you know, have a coffee sometime? And yeah, the rest is history. So there you go. And Shao is saying, yeah, I can hear you when you're not talking. Thank you so much for letting me know that. Frank is like, no, why? Yeah, Frank and I, when Frank was in Japan last time, I think, right? We went down to Denden Town and we did this UFO catcher, and it's like, they call it UFO catchers, or UFO is what they say in Japanese. A UFO catcher, these catching cranes, and you get these little slips of like triangulated pieces of paper, and then you get a whole bunch of them. They're really light, and they dump in, and you open them. And hopefully, if you're lucky, you win something really big. Like you can win a Nintendo Switch, or the worst thing you can get is like a little candy or whatnot. But out of all of our efforts, I think I get sucked into these games all the time. I spent like at least $10 on it, and you spend maybe $4. I think we got nothing, right? It was like all, you know, sorry next time. In Japanese, it's hazure. So yeah, that didn't work out, unfortunately. But hey, fun times, man. Good memories. So guys, if you don't have any more questions, I want to say a big thank you for all of you coming out to the live stream today. You guys were awesome. Thank you for, you know, staying right to the end and seeing that bonus video. If you are liking this content, please do like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. The next stream is going to be Monday morning, 9 a.m. Japan time. That's kind of Sunday evening. And yeah, and that was a little bit of a preview for what we're going to look at. Oh yeah, Frank's saying we got a haichu. Oh yeah, the haichu is a little kind of like what do you call it? Like almost a fruity toffee kind of Japanese snack. That's what we got. Thanks, dude. Yeah, and I have that video somewhere. I'd love to show that maybe sometime. That'd be totally cool. Or did you if you still have the video, send me a link to it on Google Drive or something. But yeah, do check out that video. We're going to go to Denden Town for that live stream. I mean, we went there. I'm going to show you how that area. This is kind of like the Akihabara of Osaka. And why I think it's better in some regards, but just to show you how it's doing in the pandemic. So we're going to be talking mainly about that. Guys, thank you so much for being here. You guys are all awesome. All of you get the little applause from today. And so I'm still trying to figure out those things. But guys, I will see you in the next stream. So thank you so much, and have a great weekend wherever you are watching from. Thank you all for coming here tonight, and we'll see you in the next one. Sweet. Bye.